Gardening by moon phase. The idea of gardening by the phases of the moon is an ancient one, but it has gained a lot of popularity in more recent times. Some people swear by it, others say that it hasn't worked for them. Either way, it certainly feels magical and inspiring to work with both earth and lunar magic in this way, and can enhance any witch's magical practice, as well as being rather good fun. Essentially, the idea behind gardening by the phases of the moon is that the cycles of the moon affects the growth of plants and trees, just as it's reputed to affect the growth of our hair and nails and the flow of our hormones. It is established fact that the moon's gravity does indeed affect the ocean tides of our planet, and with moon phase gardening it is further theorised that the moon also affects the moisture present within the soil and within plants and trees in just the same way. Therefore, the moisture in the ground is said to rise during the time of the waxing moon and go downwards during the waning moon. This very same process is also alleged to be going on within the plant, so during the waxing moon, water and the nutrients it carries are being carried upwards into the leaves, flowers and any above ground fruits, while during the waning moon, the water and nutrients are said to be going down the plant into its roots, bulbs or below ground vegetables. This video deals with the basic way to garden by the phases of the moon, just so I can fit it into a single video. If you get really into this style of gardening and want to take it to the next level, you can also take into account the position of the moon in the signs of the zodiac, as certain signs are considered better than others for various gardening activities. New moon. For the purposes of moon phase gardening, the new moon occurs only once the first sliver of the moon's crescent is visible and not when the moon is completely dark. At the time of the new moon and the sun are close together in the sky. This unity of the two celestial bodies was said in ancient times to be a very opportune time for fertility, birthing new things, and sowing new seeds. New moon is supposed to be the very best time to plant those flowers, fruits and veggies that bear their fruit above ground, and especially those which produce their seeds outside their fruit, like spinach, cabbage and most types of grain. Seeds planted at or just after new moon are said to have a better success rate for germination and to germinate more quickly once planted. This is because folklore suggests that as the moonlight increases from here on in, plants are encouraged to put more energy into growing their stems, leaves, flowers and above ground fruits. This is a time to gather your herbs for spells for fertility, personal growth, new beginnings, making changes and for good luck. Waxing moon. During the waxing moon, gravity is pulling water up within the ground and the plants and encouraging upwards growth. Plants can more easily take up nutrients, so many like to fertilise, feed or mulch their plants at this time. Following on from the new moon, the waning or growing moon is a great time to plant above ground annual flowers, fruits and vegetables that bear their fruit above ground and produce the seeds within their fruit. Examples include tomatoes, peppers, watermelons, pumpkins and cucumbers. If you've got any plants that are in need of repotting or grafting and you want them to carry on growing, the waning moon is the time for it, as it will encourage the plant to settle in quickly and continue to grow. The increasing light from the steadily growing moon is reputed to be very good for leaf growth, so sow those seeds or propagate those plants that you want to develop big, beautiful leaves, such as monsteras, figs and the mint family of herbs like basil, sage and mint. Pinch out the leaves of herbs to encourage more leaves to grow. Gather herbs for spells and healing involving increase, such as spells for fertility, wealth, luck and good health. In particular, gather the parts of the herbs that are above ground, such as the flowers, leaves and berries. Full moon. This is the peak of the moon's light and energy, and it's all downhill after this. It is said that repotting a plant at this time will keep it happy and healthy, but not particularly encourage it to grow much more, which could be ideal if you've got a plant that's getting a bit too big or you need to keep it under a bit more control. Many people will not plant during the full moon and believe it is a time for harvesting only. Harvest those herbs you're planning to use in the next month, and harvest those herbs that you want to dry for future use. One old rhyme from Essex in England says that the full moon is also the time to harvest mushrooms, only if you know what you're doing with them, of course. When the moon is at the full, mushrooms you may freely pull, but when the moon is on the wane, wait ere you think to pluck again. Waning moon. During the waning moon, the power and light of the moon are fading. Plant perennial and biennial flowers and vegetables that bear their crops below ground. Examples include carrots, onions, potatoes and radishes. Also plant your flowering bulbs like ramsons, bluebells and daffodils. This is because as the moonlight decreases, plants are supposed to grow their bulbs, roots and tubers. During the time of the waning moon, gravity is pulling water down within the ground and the plants and encouraging downwards growth. As a result, many like to dry their herbs or desiccate their fruits now. It's said that any cut ends from pruning will lose less sap and moisture during the waning of the moon. So this is a great time to cut things back, prune those hedges, cut firewood and harvest your herbs. As the growing energy is at its weakest, it's also the ideal time for weeding, mowing the lawn, raking leaves and composting. Gather herbs for spells and healing involving decrease, such as spells to get rid of an ailment, to stop gossip, or for banishment. Gather those parts of the plant that grow below the ground, the roots, bulbs and tubers. Other chores for the garden include general cleaning, tidying up and maintenance, so things like repairing fences, cleaning your garden tools or cleaning out the garden shed. As it's traditionally also the phase for banishment magic, undertake any pest control measures. Dark moon. This is the time when there is no moon visible. The energies of the dark moon don't bode well for the more active aspects of gardening. This is more a time of things turning inwards and great for dealing with the inner aspects of gardening. So this is time to take a rest, recuperate and evaluate. Work out what's growing and going on in your garden. Are you happy with it? What's working or not working in the garden? Was that new plant food any good? How are things going with your plants, the new and the established? What's growing? What needs pruning? What do you need to tackle? Make plans for any possible changes to be implemented in the month ahead. Also enjoy those fruits of your labours, perhaps bake pies with the fruits and veggies that you've grown, and drink some tea made with your herbs. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share and consider subscribing. Thank you.